first things first, Priyanka, we got to take a look at the US markets and what a tumble across indices, right?
Morning, Shanti. In fact, not the good set of cues coming in from US markets. Even Asian markets have closed mix if you look at it. Now, what happened yesterday? Dow ended Wednesday's session with the biggest one-day loss, and this was since early September. Dow dropped nearly 400 points, close to 1% now. S&P 500, that also slipped nearly 1%, 0.9% precisely, and Nasdaq, that fell the most, 1.6%. This was a third straight losing day for Dow and S&P, in fact, which had notched the best week last week. In fact, they've been on a winning streak if you look at it, their move from last few weeks. Now, this was a third consecutive day of losses for Dow and S&P. The way we started, the Indian market started on a soft note. Similar thing happened in US also. Now, 9 of the 11 sectors that has ended Wednesday session on lower note. In fact, the main sentiment, and of course, the main sentiment which was hurt was in the space of consumer discretionary. That was the biggest laggard that fell nearly 1.8%. On the other hand, real estate space, that gained, and similar kind of story is happening in India also, if you look at it. In fact, this one was the best performer so far. Because of, whenever there is a slump or there is a pressure on the equities, treasury yield, that actually runs opposite in the direction. 10-year treasury yield, that has been marching higher this week. Now, they've topped 4.25% yesterday. This was the high of the session, was 4.6% precisely, and this move came since we remember that the 10-year yield soared nearly 12 basis points on Monday, and that broke above 4.2%. Now, of course, the run-up in yield, that will always keep the stocks under the pressure, and the clearly indications are because the traders have this fear that the interest rate could prolong on a higher note, and that's what is the fear which is creeping on the market. And dollar index, of course, that is again rising. On Wednesday, we saw that it was at the highest level since late July.
Well, absolutely.
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits, and then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.